Okay, let's jump right into lesson 4. Today, we're going to learn something super useful: how to describe people. Talking about your friends, your family. This is a skill you're going to use all the time.
So imagine someone asks you, hey, tell me about your friend, or what's your friend like? It seems pretty simple, right? But knowing the right words to use is so important for everyday English. Don't worry, by the end of this, you'll know exactly what to say.
All right, first things first, let's talk about how someone looks, their appearance. We're going to start with two really basic things: their height, are they tall or short, and their build. Now, build is just a simple word for their body shape. Okay, so for height, the magic word is. That's it. We say, he is tall. Or on the other side, she is short. See? We're using the verb to be because we're describing what they are. The most important word to remember here is is. Now let's move on to build, or body shape. A really common and useful word here is slim. We use slim to describe a person who is not fat. It's a nice word, a positive and polite word to use. And look, we use that same magic word again, is. He is slim. So here is our first big rule, and it's super important. When you talk about height and build, you use the verb to be. He is tall. She is slim. Got it? Simple. Okay, we've got the basics down. Now, let's add some more detail to our description. We're going to focus on two really important features: hair and eyes. But listen up, because for this, we need a brand new verb. We're not using is anymore.
Okay, here it is, our brand new rule. For hair and for eyes, we use the words have or has. Now, why is that? Well, think about it. Hair and eyes aren't what a person is. They're what a person has. They possess them, right? It's a part of them. So we have to switch verbs.
So, when do you use have and when do you use has? It's easy. For he or she, we always use has. For everyone else, I, you, we, they, we use have. So, if you're talking about your friend, you'll probably say he has or she has.
Okay, listen, this is so important. This is a very common mistake for people learning English. You must say, she has brown hair. You cannot ever say she is brown hair. That's just wrong. A person isn't their hair, right? They have hair. Please remember this one.
Now, if you want to give a really great description of someone's hair, you can talk about three different things. First, the length. Is it long or short? Second, the style. Is it straight, curly, or maybe somewhere in the middle, which we call wavy? And third, of course, the color.
And look at this. You can put all of those things together in one fantastic sentence to sound really natural. We say, she has long, wavy brown hair. Did you notice the order? It's length first, then style, then color. Long, wavy, brown. It just sounds right, and it gives a much clearer picture in your mind.
And this rule works for eyes, too, because you have eyes, right? So let's practice. What about you? How would you finish this sentence? I have what color eyes? Brown eyes? Blue eyes? Green? Go on. Try saying it out loud right now. Okay, so we've talked a lot about how people look on the outside, their appearance. But what about the inside? Their personality. Describing what someone is like is just as important. And guess what? For this, we're going back to our very first rule.
That's right, we're back to our old friend, the verb to be. For personality, we use is or are. So why do we do that? Well, because personality is about what a person is. Just like he is tall, we can say he is friendly. It's the same idea.
Let's learn a great word for personality: friendly. A friendly person is someone who is kind and pleasant. They are easy to talk to, they smile a lot, and they make you feel comfortable. I'm sure you know someone who is very friendly. So how do we use that in a sentence? Super easy. He is friendly. See, we're using is because we're describing his personality. It's what he is. You could say, she is friendly. My teacher is friendly. It's always the same. Now, what if you want to ask about someone's personality? It's so simple. You just take the first two words and you switch them. So the sentence, she is friendly, becomes the question, is she friendly? You just flip them around. That's all there is to it. Okay, here's another very common personality word: shy. Someone who is shy is maybe a little nervous or quiet, especially when they are around new people. It's kind of the opposite of being really outgoing and talkative.
Now, here's a really great natural-sounding way to say this. Instead of just saying, she is shy, which can sound a little strong, we often soften it by saying, she can be a bit shy. That little phrase, a bit, just means a little. It suggests that maybe she isn't shy all the time, just sometimes.
Okay, we've learned all the different parts. We have our is rule and our has rule. Now for the really fun part. Let's put it all together and build a complete, full description of a person. Let's take a look at this description of Maria. See how we mix our two rules together? First, she is medium height and slim. That's our first rule, using is for her build. Then, she has long brown hair and she has green eyes. That's our second rule, using has for her features. And finally, we go back to our first rule for personality. She is friendly. See? It's like building with blocks. You just put them all in the right order. All right, now it's your turn to practice. Using these two simple rules, the is rule and the has rule, how would you describe yourself? Take a minute and try to make a few sentences. I am, I have, and I am. Give it a try. It's the best way to learn.